England, 1813. Rain stitched silver lines across the ivy of Ashcombe Manor as candlelight trembled over marble floors. In a chamber hushed by silk and expectation, Lady Clara stood before the window, her wedding lace breathing like a shroud. Below, the orchestra tuned to perfection. Above, her heart misstepped on every note of duty. Across the corridor, Lord Edmund Ashcombe fastened his cuff and his resolve. He had chosen lineage over longing, a marriage inked by his father's hand and sealed with society's gaze. Yet when Clara descended the staircase, poise flawless, eyes unknowable, something disquieted the order of his world. Whispers rose with the music, a laugh too warm at the edge of the ballroom, a friendly hand lingering at Clara's wrist, and in Edmund's chest, a spark he had never permitted, sharp, possessive, unbearably human, caught fire. He married her for duty. Jealousy would make him learn the price of love. If you love period stories filled with emotion, secrets, and impossible love, subscribe to Velvet Tales and live every chapter as if it were your own destiny. The reception echoed with laughter as the sounds of flutes dancing alongside the melodies from the ballroom drifted through the manor like an ethereal morning mist. Guests adorned in their finest fabrics paraded before each other, each smile meticulously choreographed, imbued with the coldness of civility. Clara's heart raced with each step she took toward the dais where she and Edmund would be ceremonially introduced. The first touch of his hand sent an unfamiliar sensation coursing through her. Yet she felt the facade of distance as they exchanged obligatory pleasantries, their smiles curated for an audience, entirely aware of the prying eyes that bore witness to their union. Alongside their beaming countenance lay a chasm, an evident rift filled with unsaid words and unseen connections. Each fleeting moment spent in such a grand spectacle reinforced the coldness of their union, encased within layers of silk and sentiment, destined to please the onlookers, but shrouded in formal stagnation. As night descended over the estate like a heavy curtain, Clara retreated to the sanctuary of her chamber, the remnants of the day hanging like shadows around her. Frustration bubbled within her. Chastised by the wealth of abundance, she felt like a caged bird, every adjacent room echoing with laughter and mirth while she dwelled in muted solitude. Discarded gowns cluttering her wardrobe had morphed into tangible representations of the life dictated to her, the phantom of joy eluding her grasp. Clara gazed into the intricately framed mirror, questioning the reflection of a woman adorned in exquisite finery, yet tied down by invisible chains of obligation. The tears welled in her eyes, the first crack in her porcelain facade, revealing the depth of her heartbreak. It was there, in the stillness of her chamber, she dared to wish for more, yearning for the warmth of true companionship and authenticity behind a veil of duty. The following weeks painted a panorama of society's intricate dances, colored by superficial exchanges hidden behind perfumed masks. At opulent balls, rumors sparked like the flicker of candlelight, each whispered conversation igniting a mixture of intrigue and disdain. Clara and Edmund floated on a surface barely touching the depths of who they could be, tormented by the expectations hanging thickly in the air. To the onlookers, they were the epitome of elegance and compliance, but to Clara, each polite smile felt like a dagger twisting in her heart. She echoed society's expectations, battling the shame of desire while people clung to their half-truths, tiptoeing around deeper emotions for fear of social downfall. In the sanctuary of a dance floor, she longed for the safety of unguarded truth, discovering that amidst the gilded beauty, her true self remained hidden from view, yearning to be seen. One fateful afternoon a letter arrived, its elegant script cutting through the haze of monotony to plunge Clara into the depths of bittersweet nostalgia. It bore the seal of a childhood companion long thought estranged, her friend from the countryside, whose laughter and adventures had long been lost in the confines of propriety. The contents, a heartfelt confession, resurfaced their shared laughter, cherished secrets, and the agonies of youthful dreams. Clara held the letter tightly, clinging to hope, yet shadowed by uncertainty as the emotional toll of facing the past weighed her down. Memories of innocence stood stark against the cold landscape of her current life, the images haunting her dreams. The remnants of joy she once had now stood juxtaposed to the shackles of duty. Torn between the bliss of remembrance and the burdens of her arranged marriage, she felt drawn back to those days, aching for an escape from the confines of expectations that kept her rooted. Amidst the whirl of balls and social engagements, hope glimmered in an unexpected encounter during a leisurely ride in the estate's gardens. As Clara and Edmund mounted their horses, their shared laughter echoed against the backdrop of blooming roses, transforming the once suffocating air into something fragrant and intoxicating. For the first time, they paralleled joy and emotion outside the walls of appropriateness. The winds conspired to soften the edges of their hearts, revealing vulnerability amidst the sprawling greenery. When Clara slipped from her horse, her heart thundered as Edmund rushed forward to catch her. Their hands brushed, igniting a primal tension neither knew existed. In that swift exchange, they glimpsed the possibility of something authentic amidst the constraints binding them to their familial duties. Each heartbeat echoed the dawning realization that beneath stifled existence lay a yearning closer to freedom, awakening a connection too powerful to remain concealed forever. With the refuge of nature, Clara began finding elements of herself buried beneath expectations. Days spent wandering through the vast estate transformed her heart, freeing it from the shackles of isolation. In tranquil moments by the lake, she discovered the solace of reflection, often hearing the rustle of leaves whispering encouragement. Amidst the evocative melodies of lark song, she found courage growing like wildflowers beneath the sunlight, echoing the variant hues of her awakening spirit. Each ride with Edmund now mirrored newfound harmony. Laughter flowed and tension dissipated, forging an unspoken promise of what could flourish if they dared to pursue it. Their exchanges, once formal and rehearsed, became breaths of fresh air laden with spontaneity, as each smile from Edmund ignited warmth within Clara's heart. They rode into the sunset, awakening desires that had long remained dormant, bound tightly with trails of freedom urging them forward. Just days later, under the guise of a jovial gathering, the atmosphere shifted. An unexpected scandal surged upon Ashcombe Manor as Miss Agatha Warren, in a fit of spite, revealed snippets of her childhood friendship with Edmund. Whispers tangled with intrigue. Rumours soon painted Clara's innocence thin as accusations sprawled through the corridors like wildfire. Consumed by jealousy, Agatha sowed discord as her spiteful heart could not bear the thought of losing Edmund to anyone, least of all Clara. Clara's heart, once buoyant, faltered beneath the weight of scrutiny. The inquiry into their relationship burgeoned, turning each cryptic glance and fleeting touch into a potential indictment. Facing the judgment of society felt like a tempest battering down on her spirit, as she sought solace in the understanding that friendship was foundational yet precarious, her inner turmoil matched only by the turbulence of emotions roiling within Edmund. A confrontation loomed on the horizon, an imminent clash igniting a tempest of emotions between Edmund and Agatha. The air crackled as Edmund sought a private audience with Clara, his brow lined with worry. The threads of jealousy, doubt, and vulnerability tugged at his heart. Clara met his gaze, vulnerability pouring from her as she voiced her fears of becoming the object of scorn and judgment. Ensnared by misconceptions, their words danced around unexpressed truths, each syllable piercing like arrows to their hearts. In that moment, Edmund wrestled with profound realization. The spark he felt for Clara transcended their arrangement, revealing the embers of something fiercer than mere duty. Breaking through the tangled web spun by external forces, he acknowledged his deepest affections while promising to face the spectre of societal expectations together. Their alliance solidified amid adversity, thwarting the constraints of formality with a bond forged in shared vulnerability. The ensuing days brimmed with tension, as society feasted on the fractured spectacle of aristocratic life, swirling with gossip, scandal, and judgments. Yet, amid emotional turmoil, Clara begot within a contemplation she never thought possible, burgeoning strength flowing like a river through her, one that urged her to rise against the tide of misunderstanding. With each day spent in the gardens of love, she found solace in her Aunt Amelia's gentle, guiding presence, a balm for her weary spirit. As Clara learned to carve her narrative, she exceeded the bounds of traditional expectations. Their clandestine exchanges, laced with previously silenced truths, ignited deeper connection and affection that permeated through the turmoil. With every whispered vow exchanged amidst blooming roses, Clara's courage fortified her resolve to seek the light of her truest self, while Edmund's spirit ignited from the fanning flames of their growing bond. At the zenith of confusion and societal scrutiny, a tempest unfolded at the annual summer ball, a venue ripe for confrontation. As guests floated through a sea of elegant attire, Clara's heart thundered below the surface, compelled by the magnetic pull of her destiny. There, amidst the warbling melodies, Edmund stood, poised like a hero of an epic tale, his features sharpened with urgency and vulnerability twinkling in his eyes. Then, with every gaze upon them, he declared his passionate feelings for Clara, shattering the shackles of silence around their hearts. "It is you, my dear Clara, who has woven your way into my very soul. No duty can bind me when faced with a love this fierce." The orchestra faltered, breaths caught, hope soared upon trembling lips. As he placed her hand upon his heart, the energy shifted. The crescendo of emotion swelled with the promise of newfound love, ringing true in the eyes of those who never dared dream of love's profound power until now. In the wake of the heartfelt declarations, astonishment swept through the ballroom, where whispers stilled as clarity settled amongst guests grappling with visions of a transformed union. A heartbeat filled with wonder and hope accompanied every intake of breath. With her heart in his hands, and each shared glance blooming with profound trust, Clara began to realize the epiphany that love existed not just amid the tumult, but buried deep within the souls of those courageous enough to unveil it. The echoing chords of music accompanied them to newfound intimacy, as Edmund's lingering touch promised strength and warmth, contrasting the coldness of societal expectations that had so long imprisoned them. They reveled in emotional liberation, shattering the fragility of their previous arrangements, while igniting a collective awe from the guests surrounding them, those who were left transfixed by the fiery connection blossoming before them. As the guests resumed their lively chatter, the energy surged within the once stifling manor, transformed by the brave proclamation of love. Clara felt the invisible chains of duty snapping under the weight of sincere affection, and the realization that she deserved a love of her own. Agatha's hold on her life weakened, reduced to a shadow of despair, unable to contain the fragile heart that had long yearned for the love she sought through manipulation. Amidst the renewed warmth filling the room, Clara and Edmund held each other close, their hearts beating harmoniously within shared understanding. They had emerged from a world of duty, stepped into the sunlit oasis of love and partnership, and grasped the power to reshape their narratives together. Love emerged victorious, a beacon drawing forth hidden truths and inviting those present to believe in the transformative power of vulnerability and trust. With the light of dawn casting a golden hue over Ashcombe Manor, Clara and Edmund stood together, a sense of serenity enveloping them. No longer shackled by the ghosts of their pasts, they began the task of stitching their broken pieces into a shared tapestry, one that celebrated the richness of their union forged through trials. Within the embrace of the gardens, where petals kissed the earth and birds serenaded the day, they spoke of dreams uncharted and ambitions flourishing amidst the color of newfound love. Their laughter intermingled with the fragrant blooms, building roots deeper into the ground of their lives together. As a couple, they envisioned a legacy founded not only on duty, but on the joyful embrace of love, drawing together the scattered fragments of their hearts and clasping them securely against the uncertainties of life. In this renaissance of their souls, each day blossomed into something remarkable, vibrant with the promise of love. The sweet echoes of laughter flooded the estate, transforming Ashcombe Manor into a bastion of healing and warmth. In the weeks to follow, Clara discovered that her union with Edmund beckoned an awakening for those around them. Families, long ensnared by the constraints of duty, began questioning their own bonds. The possibility of love and revelation overshadowed the constraints of societal structures. Edmund's steadfast illumination made visible the paths long obscured. He stood as a protector, championing Clara's pursuit of identity within their marriage, while simultaneously navigating the delicate web of aristocratic codifications. Through friendship, trust, and passion, they sculpted moments where love thrived, reshaping tradition with every sharing of burdens. Off with conventions that stifled the heart, Clara began inspiring other young women with the realization that joy could coexist harmoniously beside the expectations of society, unearthing connections that flourished alongside love. As whispers of newfound generational change stirred through the hearts of society, Clara and Edmund found themselves facing more uncertainty. The ghost of Agatha lingered still, her anger a tempest in the still waters of their marriage, but the duo braced for the fallout they might face. One fateful evening, as the very air seemed electrified by the tension of unspoken words, Clara summoned her courage to confront Agatha. A confrontation awaited for too long, a necessary step toward healing. They met in the grand library, the air thick with anticipation, emotions swirling like autumn leaves caught in a tempest. Clara, while trembling, was resolute. "Your attempts to sow discord cannot last. The truth is immovable." Steeled by love and uncertainty, she felt empowered in the face of adversity. Agatha, her face a mask of bitterness, faltered, but eventually revealed a wounded heart buried beneath layers of jealousy. Together they began to dismantle the pain that had once plagued them. In the sanctity of four walls lined with memories, the resilient fortitude of friendship trickled back in, like sunlight filtering through the dense canopy of hostility. Agatha's anger gave way to remorse as she wept bitterly, confessing her vulnerability and longing for a love denied her since childhood. The cracks forged through jealousy intertwined with trails of regret as she and Clara began to share truths long buried. Clara extended empathy, recognizing they were both shaped by the strains of societal pressures, believing they could reshape the narrative. Their conversation grew, blooming with shared experiences and faded dreams, transforming their enmity into understanding. As the waves of conversation washed over them, Clara's heart swelled with the hope that healing could bridge uneven connections, nurturing new beginnings revealed beneath a tapestry of loss and heartache. Two women standing together, united by their experiences. With each tear shed, the bond between Clara and Agatha deepened, slowly giving way to the emergence of forgiveness that transcended the room. It manifested not just in shared sorrows, but in learning from the struggles that had long bound them in rivalry. They forged a pact, silent yet vivid, drawing on mutual understanding that sought to illuminate the path toward emotional renewal. "Let us live free from the past, where love becomes our greatest compass," Clara proposed with a newfound strength. Edmund, ever the protector, watched quietly, his admiration for Clara continuing to swell. Her grace transformed the very air surrounding them, embracing Agatha with compassion instead of resentment. Their healing united them, binding them in shared understanding that awaited rebirth in time. The winds of change no longer felt burdensome. They dared dream forward into a new era, breaking traditions that kept them shackled to their previous identities, their hearts now intertwined in this embrace of acceptance. As autumn set upon Ashcombe, the colors of nature mirrored the vibrant reawakening of their lives. Each leaf transforming brought forth a potential untapped. Clara and Edmund, now sound in their love, fanned the foundations of their burgeoning relationship. Enlivened by their experiences together, a duality crafted in moments filled with laughter, compassion, and understanding. Drawn together by whispered promises and quiet declarations, they envisioned a future, not just constrained by roles dictated by society, but by a shared vision crafted through love. In the evenings, their souls found refuge beneath the starlit sky, where dreams were given flight. Each shared hope became a building block toward a united front against the world that had once sought to chain them. Their hearts danced in the stillness, forged through trials embraced, reiterating how love could flourish, transcending defined boundaries. As winter approached, snow blanketed Ashcombe Manor in silvery serenity, ushering in the kind of reflection that yearns for rebirth. It served as a metaphor for Clara and Edmund's ongoing journey, a shared venture that would ventilate the rigid structures of obligation with fresh perspective. Drawing upon the lessons learned, they recognized their responsibility to foster change, not only for themselves but for those around them. They both endeavored to advocate for other young couples caught within the burdens of tradition, offering the hope that redefining love could start with the heart. Through matters of courage and descendants yet to be born, they called upon the courage of the past to inspire an awakening, a familial legacy that would celebrate emotional freedom while honoring the nuance of love's hues. Hand in hand, they envisioned a future shimmering with promise, endless opportunity, and a heartfelt embrace for the thousands of lives impacted by societal waves. On the first day of spring, As snowflakes melted into the promise of blossoming life, Clara found herself at the heart of her dreams, nurtured by love that flourished in community. Encouraged by the warmth now present in Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund established a salon for discussions that would rally against the confines of tradition, inviting critical thinkers willing to disrupt antiquated norms. Those who attended forged real friendships, celebrating shared ideas that honored individual expressions within relationships. The steely walls once forged around social duty slowly crumbled under the weight of new possibilities. Each meeting became a sanctuary of love, painting the walls of Ashcombe with colors of laughter and connection. Souls gathered to share their truths, inspired by courage as Clara carried their message forth. Love breathed in variety and form, never confined by boundaries, but rather seeking to uplift and embrace bright existence. Time flowed like the rushing waters of a stream. Days rolled into weeks and weeks melted into memories. The community nestled around Ashcombe thrived in newfound authenticity, where Clara and Edmund felt their hearts' harmonies intertwining with the very soil they tended. They witnessed transformations reflecting mutual courage, an exploration that expanded love while redrawing societal conventions. Each connection deepened with the wisdom of experience, as Clara leaned into the lessons learned. The essence of love rooted not simply in the hearts of the romantic, but in fostering human connections among all. The whispers of the past morphed into lessons of courage and individuality, illuminating their shared journey. They sought to remind everyone that while love can weave through the fabric of expectation, its identity blooms best when nurtured in the mutual heartbeat of authenticity and understanding. As seasons softly changed, Clara and Edmund felt the synchronization of their hearts growing stronger with each shared moment, an ever-evolving dance of light and shadow. They took those moments to reflect upon the groundwork they had laid for the future, understanding that life would continually present challenges. As they whispered dreams under the soft gaze of the moon, they committed to nurture the spirit of love resolutely, framing their lives along its currents. Together, they strategized on evolving expectations and broadening perspectives, practicing support beyond their union as ripples of kindness spread outwards like a gentle balm across their community. Their love encapsulated the dualities of existence while inviting others to join in embracing growth rather than searching for perfection, a call bridged through vulnerability and love that would transcend time, offering what could be considered hope for tomorrow, an unwavering pledge to carry forward. Spring arrived anew, mirroring the evolution of Clara and Edmund's commitment, a radiant future that thrived against tides of uncertainty. The community had thrived on representatives of change, where dialogues became a staple, echoing empowerment and respect long before heard. Clara often led the discussions, passionate about revolutionary ideas for relationships and reining in the hidden stories that would otherwise remain untold. Educating the youth to honor their own voices ignited a sense of belonging woven with heartfelt ambition. Edmund too found his role, a tranquil guardian, ensuring every heartbeat within the tapestry of dialogue reaffirmed the message. Mutual respect and compassion signify love far beyond expectation. A bright sense of purpose washed over Clara, who had once felt caged. She now stood poised with confidence, guiding togetherness toward fresh existence, where love's shades harbored new beginnings, their affirmative journey shaping both individual lives and the broader narrative still unfolding. As Clara and Edmund prepared for their first anniversary, echoes of laughter resonated throughout Ashcombe Manor, a bastion bearing witness to transformation embodied in love. They celebrated the growth of bonds forged beyond societal limitations. The festivities became a mosaic, welcoming individuals transformed by the movement Clara had ignited, a theater of stories intertwined over shared burdens that fostered love's purity. Amidst optimistic laughter and joyous proclamations, they raised their glasses for a toast. To unity and love that transcends duty, Clara declared, her voice strong and determined, reverberating in the hearts of those present who yearned for kindness and authenticity. The air shimmered with possibility, and as bubbles danced against the glass, increments of emotion shaped each face, reflecting the dreams shared under the moonlit sky. Their love expanded from personal bonds into a collective movement seeking to reshape the very fabric of society, inviting all to step into the light of acceptance. In the ensuing year, The ripples of change flowed across the fabric of Ashcombe. Clara and Edmund witnessed growth not only in their hearts, but throughout their community as well, where their love acted as a guiding star in a sea of societal seas. Families sought Clara's counsel regarding relationships, learning to chase passions while embracing perceptions. Long-standing bonds evolved into unexpected friendships. Their legacy radiated from Ashcombe like the sun breaking through the clouds, illuminating lives in neighboring villages and drawing strength from the very essence of authenticity. They understood that their role had transitioned into visual reminders that love would not be the sheep following the herd, but a flock seasoning its own identity. Joy smiled broadly as Clara shared loving truths with those who walked beside her, through beacons of hope scattered along the path, reaching out for the horizon where change promised brilliance ahead, inviting all to the tender embrace of love. Under the canopy of stars that draped their love like a tender embrace, Clara and Edmund often reflected together on the journey that led them here, crafting memories etched upon their hearts. They gazed towards a future where they would cultivate children filled with understanding and strength, armed with values forged in courage and authenticity. Inspired by Clara's vision of a blossoming lineage, they solidified a legacy born not merely from time spent, but from the steadfastness of love against circumstance. They spoke of the tales they would impart upon their children, the valor shown in confronting biases, the empathy rewarded to those seeking solace, and the infinite beauty of being true to oneself. It stretched beyond the borders of Ashcombe, while bringing forth learning into a broader context of humanity, to cherish all that it encompasses. In defining their legacy, Clara and Edmund became exemplars of a love that transcends time, an evolving presence that remains steadfast even as the world around them reshapes itself. Invitation for transformation marked a new dawn for Clara and Edmund, who tirelessly pursued the winds of change that whispered through their lives. Days spent nurturing bonds breathed life into gatherings where heartfelt discussions transcended the shackles of conformity, offering solidarity amidst fluidity. They became intentional in weaving connections, fostering relationships across diverse identities and shared visions. Through those endeavors, Clara embraced an identity that transcended societal expectations, the willful adventurer, a beacon for all who sought not just acceptance, but also celebration in their own skin. As she roamed Ashcombe's gardens, her laughter would resonate, a melodic reminder that each voice is urgent, deserving prominence, where those entwined in life find courage to sing their truths. Each festival celebrated love's continuity, with families brought together through compassion, resonating with the thread of unity that underscored tradition's fragile embrace and evolving it into a brighter shared horizon. As Clara and Edmund embraced one another under autumn's gentle descent, they awoke to life's unfolding narrative, a living tapestry imbued with the resilience of their shared journey. The seasons echoed through the gardens, weaving together moments of laughter, pain, growth, and love transcending tradition's strain, a perpetual reiteration of life lived against the constraints of circumstance. With children now playing amongst the blossoms of Ashcombe, each heartbeat flourished under the promise of encouraging their passions while imprinting the values of courage and choice upon their spirits. They cultivated a world bereft of limitation, teaching their little ones to tread lightly yet boldly through life, reaching for their dreams with gentle hands while striving for tenderness. And as the years cradled their love like precious jewels encased in brilliance, Clara and Edmund reveled in the knowledge that they had crafted an unbreakable legacy, one imbued with the powerful lesson that true love would always emerge victorious, even when bound by obligation's shadow. Years flowed, layering memories like petals falling from the cherry blossoms that sprung from the heart of Ashcombe. As Clara and Edmund aged gracefully together, the laughter of their children filled the estate, a living testament to the triumph of love over circumstance. It became a refuge where dreams intertwined, cradling the light of hope they fought relentlessly to protect. With hearts entwined, they fostered change not only within their circles but beyond them, expanding with each story whispered by the hearth. Even as whispers of time moved on, Clara's spirit blossomed alongside her children's journeys, their laughter a vibrant echo of her own enduring resilience. And while societal norms would inevitably shift like tides, the legacy they crafted remained, a shimmer upon the cultural fabric, reminding all who entered that true love knows neither borders nor constraints, flourishing endlessly through the passage of time. As time continued weaving stories within Ashcombe's ornate walls, the tales of Clara and Edmund glimmered brightly, a prized tapestry crafted from every moment they encountered, intertwined with their triumphs against adversity, their struggles woven deep into the very fabric of the estate. They passed on stories to their children, illustrating how love transcended societal constructs and the sanctity of connection bridged friendships that broke through barriers. At each gathering, their children learned the importance of laughter as form of release, valuing truth over pretense, allowing their hearts to blossom organically while holding on to the precious legacy of transformative camaraderie. The rhythmic pulse of love continued to grow, a powerful melody inviting all who entered their abode to share, learn, and embrace life beyond constraint. Clara and Edmund watched love blossom in all forms, encouraging their beloved children to traverse the world with open hearts, leaving the imprints of compassion as ripples traversing the lives of many more. With every passing season, the garden flourished, a vibrant manifestation of life's ebbs and flows adorned by Clara and Edmund's unwavering commitment to nurturing its essence. As they walked through the foliage together, hand in hand, they often reflected upon early days, the haunted shadows of once laden hearts transformed now into empowered souls. The lessons bred within those walls served as a reminder of the struggle against duty. Their love became a light against that darkness, illuminating a vibrant pathway toward desired joys for generations. Through whispered stories, their children learned there is no greater endeavor than unburdening oneself, with the courage to embrace truths, honoring emotional legacies left behind. The tapestry woven through their lives, interlinked with vibrant hues, a palette of resilience, grace, and unconditional love, reminding souls intertwined with familial spirits that the true essence of existence celebrated sacrifices made, echoing stories crafted through shared journeys of hearts engaged. Over time, Clara and Edmund grew to cherish not just their personal journey, but the impact it fostered in a world longing for companionship, acceptance, and genuine connection. Families crowded around their hearth, echoing an open invitation, their spirits united by shared visions and ideals, a legacy that expanded through the ripples of change ignited through love's tenacity. Each season birthed new hope, a potential hoping to rise. Children born under the Ashcombe umbrella inherited love not as obligation, but as an expression woven into everyday moments, alive like the pulse of the universe, breathing joy into existence. Time encased their legacy, pressing heartbeats against history, guiding others toward a love that knew no bounds, a blueprint extending beyond time, reaching new shores, yet binding every soul who dared to love openly. The stories told echoed as whispers, carved within shared memories, that became testimonies of love's transformational embrace. Bearing witness, hope's light shined radiant for all who sought liberation through connection. As they celebrated their golden anniversary, Ashcombe stood as a symbol of perseverance, a backdrop to countless narratives transformed through the shared lens of love. Clara and Edmund gathered with generations unspooling across the estate, a convergence of hearts that embodied lessons threaded into the very essence of the manor's atmosphere. Laughter floated atop the rolling hills, mingling with the whispers of trees, their home a haven, alive with the vibrancy of every soul. In every shared embrace, they honored the legacy that flourished from their desire to unite around something genuine. The festivities became a mosaic of colors amidst summer blooms, inviting everyone to weave into the collective tapestry. They danced together under starlit ceilings, jubilant to witness the threads sewn within decades of connection continuously enveloping them. And as Clara glanced into Edmund's eyes, she understood love was still the radiant spark that fueled their souls, vibrant as ever against the backdrop of time. With their hands entwined, Clara and Edmund felt the resonance of their journey, a heartbeat echoing through the ages as they observed the young ones gathered around, cocktails in hand, laughter spilling like petals into the gentle evening breeze. Each smile blossomed with stories to share, intertwining these younger generations with their legacy, an unfolding tapestry of love that bore witness to the power of enduring connections. As wisdom flowed between them, bridging the hearts of generations, Clara regarded these moments as beautiful encapsulations of all they had fought for, the very essence of freedom in love, now thriving under the shadow of Ashcombe's gardens. Holding steadfast to the idea that true love was found within the defined boundaries of warmth and understanding, Clara realized their story served as a beacon, guiding those still seeking and recognizing their paths in the world, an enduring light shining bright amid life's chaos, nurturing connection and hope for those brave enough to embrace it. Yet as time continued to unravel, bringing fresh challenges and inevitable transitions, even the strongest of hearts faced change's call. One afternoon, as Clara stared through the familiar frame of her window, watching the sunset bleed into hues of soft amber, she felt a bittersweet realization tugging gently at her core. Life was a cycle, a season rolling forward, painted with vibrancy and decay. Children blossomed into adults, bound for their own adventures, each moment they shared softened by the lingering echoes of laughter wrapping around them like a tapestry of love. Edmund stood beside her, capturing her hand with tenderness, a shared understanding passing silently between their hearts. They recognized that what had once appeared as fixed and unyielding had transformed into reminders of life's inevitable ebb and flow. Just as the seasons shifted, so must they adapt to embrace the transitions life had to offer. In that quiet moment, Clara made a pact with herself. She would hold tightly onto the love that had prospered in Ashcombe, using it as an anchor amidst the tempests approaching. Reflecting upon all they had weathered, adversity and grace intertwined, her heart sang with gratitude for the resilience that forged every bond they nurtured. With Edmund's unwavering presence beside her, she felt empowered to forge onwards in brave pursuit of the changing winds. They would continue promoting love, advocating fiercely toward acceptance within the communal tapestry they had nurtured. They drifted through gardens still bursting with life's exuberance, breathing in beautiful remnants of their past, while fostering foundations of hope amidst the changes swirling around them. Clara and Edmund mirrored each other's hearts, attuning themselves to the ebb and flow of life's delicate balance, steadfastly embracing the journey forward, anchored in love and community, nurtured through trials and joyful resilience. With the waning of years, Clara and Edmund felt their bodies softening under the weight of each season's passage, reflecting upon the legacy they had carved, efforts echoing well beyond the walls of Ashcombe, where communities had bloomed alongside them. As they wandered into the heart of their beloved gardens, the very ground that bore witness to seasons of love, in friendship was an intertwining bond etching their names into eternity. Families flourished, inspired through the lessons that blossomed forth. The ripple effects of nurturing love ignited hearts beyond their comprehension. Clara often mused, "To love wholly is to leave a mark upon the fabric of existence," nodding knowingly toward Edmund, his eyes a shimmer of pride and adoration. Together they shared a vision of a brighter world, a web of connection, reminding all who crossed their paths that to love without limits unleashes profound change, cultivating joy that reverberates eternally within those brave enough to embrace it. As the final chapter of their earthly sojourn approached, Clara and Edmund found solace in one another's embrace during evenings adorned by starlit whispers. As twilight draped over Ashcombe, they shared stories of lives uncharted, each journey woven through personal challenges that matured the foundations of their love. The golden leaves fell, symbols of change portraying the beauty of life's fleeting nature, carpeting their garden in promises of rebirth that echoed eternal love. As they lay side by side, breathing the gentle rhythms of the universe, Clara gingerly rested her head upon Edmund's shoulder, assurance solidified between them. Together, they epitomized enduring love, each heartbeat resounding through generations who carried their lessons forth. Life's ebb and flow surrounded them, transformed into whispers that married their souls while remaining ever present. As Clara and Edmund held hands, smiles shimmering with acceptance of future chapters yet unwritten, they departed one final time, embracing the journey ahead with the purest essence of love. In the years that followed, Clara and Edmund's legacy continued to unfold, a testament to love nurtured with compassion and understanding. Their children, now parents of their own, spoke often of the lessons they had received regarding the vital importance of authentic love, breaking the cycles of restraint while fostering precious bonds within their communities. Every voice echoed forth, bold and timeless, encouraging others to embrace vulnerability amidst their unique journeys. Under the splendor of Ashcombe, gatherings thrived, filled with stories of life, resilience, and joy. As the sun dipped below the horizon, The laughter that resonated transcended time, immortalizing the spark ignited within their hearts. The love they nurtured inspired many, sprouting forth a network of connections that withstood the test of time. Each gathering became a beacon, reminding all who entered that true love, bold and unwavering, was meant to extend beyond the confines of custom, rooted in authenticity, and urging each soul to reach out and embrace another. As seasons transitioned, thoughts lingered beyond Ashcombe, carrying with them the warmth of stories old and new, a bright future carving its identity under the gentle whisper of change. The battlegrounds for love evolved, as conversations sparked among diverse faces, planting seeds of openness, a mosaic flourishing under courageous dialogues. Clara and Edmund's children grew into compassionate leaders, bending and weaving together the tapestry of their community, while reinforcing the notion that love can flourish even in the most challenging contexts. Every embrace exchanged carried emotion. Each shared moment rippled outward, perpetuating the drive toward acceptance and nurturing the fragments of life that craved connection and purpose. They merged families, pasts intermingling to beckon brighter tomorrows, while the extraordinary lives they lived redefined notions of duty and love, turning heads and softening hearts with a singular reminder that to love passionately is to create something infinite and unforgettable. As Clara and Edmund's story reverberated across the various circles of life, the seeds of change unfurled to greet new horizons. Listening closely to the voices of generations, Clara's children felt the echoes of love, inspiring transformation, pushing boundaries that stifled the essence of connection. Ellen, Clara's eldest, became a storyteller, recounting lives entwined through the warmth of shared dreams, merging her mother's legacy with vibrant narratives of those unable to speak. Each tale carrying emotional weight, bravely merging the past with newfound acceptance, allowing their community to embrace wholesomeness without regret. This endeavor served as a testament to maternal devotion, revealing the extraordinary capacity to soften hearts with the warmth of true connection. Each shared moment resonated like pulses in the atmosphere, interconnecting futures with the steady rhythm of acceptance, urging all to embrace the call of love while pursuing paths paved in authenticity. Clara and Edmund firmly believed in aspiring toward the future, their hearts defiantly beating in synchrony, bridging realms where love becomes centered on kindness and shared aspirations. Compact teams gathered to devise robust strategies that entwined families from various walks of life, celebrating diversity while breathing life into traditions that blended seamlessly into the harmony of everyday experiences. Stories inhabited the manor, lush with meaning, filling rooms beyond walls again alive with friendships blossoming from moments shared. Each purposeful dialogue enriched their communities in a warm embrace, gently dispelling pervasive shadows. The dedication that had grown through the entwining of emotions began to illuminate the darkest corners of existence. Clara's voice soared, resonating with promise. Edmund's unwavering strength paved the path for transformative opportunities infused with resilience. As family trees crested, friendships sprang toward newfound directions. Love itself evolved into gardens bursting with new growth, their work to fortify a legacy blossomed rooted in the pursuit of joy. Years turned upon Ashcombe's storied foundations, reiterating the bonds Clara and Edmund had forged, while nurturing a commitment that transcended. The circles of companionship expanded at gatherings filled with aromas of harvest seasons, laughter cascading through each room, a vivid reminder of the potential love harbored within society's eccentricities. Clara now held a position of importance as a leader in the movement she had once shared with her mother, urging others to embrace the unexpected pathways of the heart, reinvigorating familial beliefs that celebrated emotional symbiosis. The community began to evolve. Their shared narrative expanded through branches uniting stories with clarity. New beginning whispered forth, encouraging everyone to imagine friendships beyond conventionality, culminating in ethereal gatherings that showcase the beauty of working together, their rich lives intertwined, bound in heartbeats of unity, and driven by the prospect of tomorrow's illumination. As mirrors reflected upon every heartfelt encounter that transpired, families gathered annually on the grounds of Ashcombe, celebrating their shared journey while adorning the estate with vibrant flowers, symbolizing new life. This evening stood as a culminating experience, a celebration of love that transcended generations, echoing the euphoria woven throughout their stories. Clara felt her heart race as she stood hand in hand with Edmund, reminding her of their initial dance. This time swirling amid lively festivities, their laughter mingled with joy that rose above the past. In a world that flourished for acceptance and emotional authenticity, each twirl around the dance floor wove together a tapestry, showcasing love in its myriad forms across the lives enchanted within this sanctuary. And as Edwin grasped Clara close, the warmth of countless shared moments pulsated between them, promise ringing loud that love's glow would continue bright, even in the shadows of uncertainty that might arise. As the final notes faded beneath the twinkling sky, Clara and Edmund stood amidst their gathered loved ones, spectators of a legacy framed by compassion and connection. The echoes of their love traveled throughout each shared breath, bridged people from past to future, forming a resilient force that would withstand time. Their hearts soared, witnessing the younger generation take hold. Hands clasping, share stories, discover the beauty inherent within each unique voice, transforming into a symphony of acceptance and support. In the arms of one another, they understood that as they embraced one another, they enveloped the vast tapestry of lives they had touched, a kinship everlasting. Their hearts raced, flared with the light of possibilities, reminding those gathered that love is the beacon that unites every path, revealing beauty in the darkest moments, an embrace wrapped in understanding. Their journey chronicled throughout the annals of legacy as they gleamed into the horizon that awaited with each dawning day. And thus Clara and Edmund's story continued to echo, a gentle reminder of how love could reshape destinies beyond the constraints of time and obligation. Those who entered the echoes of Ashcombe felt the warmth wrap around them, stories thriving beyond mere words, infusing life where creativity flourished, illuminating the path for generations to come. In every heartbeat lived a kernel of truth, a testament lingering within the foundation of love, nurtured and crystallized into being. Life flowed ever forward, survival breaching imposed boundaries, making way for new endeavors and unity creation, an unfettered journey captured in the vibrant embrace of familial bonds. For love, as Clara and Edmund knew no end, fostering understanding, acceptance and joy in their time and beyond. They understood now clearer than ever that love mixed not with obligation, but with the tender embrace of authenticity, and that love finds a way to endure even through strife, energies interlaced within every encounter. And while the seasons continued their march, the unwavering presence of Clara and Edmund's love offered hope that rippled through Ashcombe and countless lives beyond. Schools began to echo ideals shared in their stories, when families gathered and futures flourished. Children reared within realms of acceptance understood the significance of love's role in redefining humanity, boundless in potential waiting to be discovered amid the mysteries life offered. The heartfelt mingling of laughter encompassed every corner of Ashcombe, as Clara's stories spilled forth like blossoms from cherished gardens, tales of dreams and aspirations shared among fires, where passions flowed and hope blossomed before all who desired to listen. Their journey marked the steps toward a culture reshaped, a living testament to enduring love's infinite capacity for joy, nurturing dreams and fostering growth, illustrating the power of love. As families gathered, attached by threads of connection spun within the heart of existence, Clara's journey reminded all who blessed their hearts that love ever endures, intertwined with resilience. As time marched on, Clara remained on the cusp of change, ready to embrace further transformations, committed to her effort of kindling hope. She understood that love thrives within community, and that hearts joined together create ripples far beyond what one could ever achieve alone. Surrounded by faces resonating hope and passion, children, friends, her heart danced in unison with theirs, experiencing fulfillment beyond measure. Family gatherings morphed into celebrations of togetherness, a lifelong pursuit, because truly, there is no singular journey. They scaffolded shared ideals, recognizing that while there may be differences through which stories intertwine, love remains transcendent, nurturing relationships that blossomed outside the constraints of predetermined paths. Through their journey and the memories crafted beneath the sheltering embrace of Ashcombe, every heart echoed its effect, a louder declaration that love ignites, the heartbeats of change that illumined a brighter future. Observing the cycle of seasons, filled with beauty and triumphs against challenges, Clara marveled at how nature mirrored their lives, a profound embodiment of resilience, growth, and constant renewal. She filled her heart with gratitude for every experience shared within Ashcombe, understanding the layers built upon the foundation of love, compassionate dialogue, and unwavering commitment to fostering authentic connections. Their journey stirred sentiments within the hearts of many, breathing vigor into relationships both near and far, while connecting them to higher purposes of existence. As she glanced up at the vibrant blooms arching overhead, she felt the warmth of renewed strength propelling forward, understanding that love knows no boundaries, only vigor awaiting to be embraced and transformed. For along these collective paths, Clara and Edmund's legacy flourished, woven through lives adorned with connection, each heart reflecting light and recognizing its purpose in cultivating resilience and darkened shadows into vivid bursts of hope. In seasons that continued to guide families on myriad journeys, Clara and Edmund became vibrant embodiments of dedication and love that rose to meet every trial, transforming hardship into clarity, challenges into inspiration. Ashcombe stood as a testament to the bonds that chaos could not disrupt. Every morning unraveled in laughter and ingenuity as voices echoed through the estate. Children and loved ones engaged in vibrant engagements upheld the legacy etched within beautiful moments embraced. Through the thickets of growth sprouted deeper recognition. Love illuminated every path woven into connection, guiding each soul toward recognizing the potential for legends sprawled across the expansive tapestry of existence. Clara found joy in empowering others to love boldly, carve destinies nourished by authenticity. Undeterred by legacies of duty, she championed the vibrant hearts yearning for liberation. The sturdy threads of her family, the laughter shared, emotions exchanged, epitomized love's power to reshape destinies towards new horizons. As twilight descended upon Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund nestled together, two hearts intertwined, embracing the beauty of a journey that transcended the smooth and unsteady. Their love stood unfaltering, a living, breathing entity, a flame igniting the hearts of those who chose to connect within its embrace while illuminating the essence of authentic engagement. As they pondered back on lives obscured by shadows of obligation, reminders reverberated around them, rivaling any societal grain imparted upon their hearts. Their journey became richer, wrought with countless memories shared with loved ones who gathered beneath their open hearts. Graced together, Clara envisioned a sea of opportunities, a community boldly stepping outside their comfort zones, hearts entwined across vast landscapes. Attuned to the radiant glow emanating from togetherness and acceptance, they felt love transform beyond their collective histories, kindled as a beacon, inviting souls to rise and illuminate their paths, their journey forever altering the course of all who dare embrace love boldly, without fear. As generations folded together, the intertwined destinies remained threads eternally woven beneath the shelter of Ashcombe. Clara and Edmund marveled at how their legacy branched into new beginnings, how love fostered explorations linking hearts and stories. The landscapes around them metamorphosed, blooming with resilient spirits, determined to continue nurturing their journey toward brighter steps. Families convened often within the estate. Understanding love expanded one's purview, reverberating into previously inconceivable connections brought forth by authentic hearts. Clara stood firm at the forefront, witnessing the power embraced, her soul intertwined within the hearts of those buoyed out of darkness. Life brimmed with shared triumphs, bursts of joy reflecting back upon their paths, each binding moment illuminating realms of kinship gilded with possibility as they lit their collective lamps and propelled one another toward newfound adventures, an odyssey of embracing the richness of existence when love remained steadfast in pursuit of shining brightly. With each day that passed, the ethereal legacy Clara and Edmund crafted spilled forth into the currents of life, the work of love transforming alongside every bond nurtured beneath their shining canopy. Stories blossomed, and wisdom flourished as children grew to share values infused with understanding and connection. The world embraced every blossoming heart, revealing layers through which love transformed joyfully against the backdrop of challenges. Ashcombe became a monument to all who sought not merely tradition yet connection, the seeds of hope, planted long ago, met light as vibrant blooms forged stories, testimonies woven into every chapter shared. Clara and Edmund grasped the understanding that their journey forward rested upon a road paved by unity, painting the skies of existence, eager to carve unforgettable paths out of love. With every embrace, they celebrated love not merely as an obligation, but as life's wondrous symphony, tangibly sculpting longing towards intentional futures unbowed, yet wholly realized. As Clara and Edmund ventured further into new horizons, they understood their bonds weaved sprightly threads of compassion, interlinked with the vitality of networks woven throughout their community's fabric. The shimmering spread of love became clear. They leaned into a world where interconnectedness empowered every heartbeat. The experiences shared strengthened and sustained them through potential reflections of joy belonging to all. When voices rose in festival unison, their vibrancy endowed families and friendships with emotional depth, kindling visions of hope for the future. This love became an ever-receding pathway, illuminating not only revelations around them, but also resonating deeper within each heart, eager to create grace through connection. Clara knew the essence of their story had transcended Ashcombe. It became a form of love that danced around emotions clear and true, a radiant reminder echoing love's vibrancy and the luminous gifts hidden behind each step toward loving significantly. Seasons continued to paint stories through the ever-evolving landscapes of Ashcombe, where Clara and Edmund's presence nurtured an enduring recognition of connection. Every moment echoed through the veil of existence. Gratitude mingled with love within the walls, their hearts brimming with resilience, an ode to the lives cradled therein. They might have laid themselves bare for vulnerability's embrace, or sown seeds of truth within emotional landscapes, yet they hadn't forgotten the journeys from which they had risen. Newspapers celebrated their legacy, published within the tributes of affection, aiming to encapsulate the vibrancy of kindness within chaos, from journals lost among the collapsing remnants of conventional expectation to countless other stories spun by the threads of unity, boldly declaring their souls as tethered. The narrative gathered energy, meteoric in its pursuit of change, encouraging families and friends to connect deeply, weaving a deliberate love, preserving the essence of one's soul, while carrying forth Clara and Edmund's heartfelt message unwaveringly. Amid soft ripples over the estate's enchanting grounds came reflections of the enduring journey, not muddied whispers but melodies intertwined with laughter. And within these moments, Clara and Edmund envisioned the vast narrative blooming ahead of them. They stood in embrace, honoring every soul that converged within their circle, while nurturing emotional ties cultivated over years transcending circumstance. Their paths merged as new lives cradled warmth, voices rising to create a unique harmony that resonated enlightenment through the rhythms of tenderness. They understood love flourished in renewal, propelling the reconnections they witnessed, seeing beyond faces once tethered in silence, rediscovering the discontinuities still hidden amongst the threads they dared to dream while embarking on numerous generous expressions of gratitude. They awoke to the extraordinary beneath daily rituals, every soul unveiled beauty, igniting their senses, sparkling within reflections of essential truths celebrated across the tapestry of time and beyond. In the days that peppered the horizon with hope, Clara and Edmund remained resolute, dedicating themselves wholly to nurturing a society blossoming forth amid connection and kindness. The life they held, enriched by the voices echoing through generations converging through love's invitation, became a fresh breath of air, gathering every seed to cultivate deep roots clasped within the earth's heart. Laughter rang in a symphony as children's hearts cradled the whispers of nature, instilling the power of reaffirming love endows vitality among every precious soul. Nurturing these dreams reflected their collective journey, ensuring young minds grow free and resilient. Such offers pushed boundaries of convention stretching forward, seeking truthful expressions. As every heartbeat resonated deeply, souls emerged into the light and stretched toward the radiant sky above. Imbued with promise, they flourished upon the land once darkened by the weight of ignorance and transitioned the baton of change toward future generations pulsing with love. As Clara and Edmund celebrated years intertwined, Ashcombe burgeoned with more than just cherished moments. It became a bright crucible of resilience and unity. Their memories, built upon lands that once bore silence, thrived beneath the cadence of laughter and inklings of love. Clara often engaged in soft-hearted gatherings, enveloping her friends with stories born of emotion, encouraging dialogue unfurling beneath the glow of bright hope, inciting blossoming futures born from streams of compassion. Walls had no power, merely a backdrop against which life painted, shadows transformed by the brilliance of connectivity, evolving through the fabric of friendship. Around every corner, affection wrapped around every individual, inviting hearts weary from battles to seek solace, uniting multiplicities shared within the mosaic. The continued nurturing of stories weighed upon the world, illuminating paths of connection blossoming further, transforming transient moments into the fabric, stretching vast spaces, echoing each heart interconnected. Time, like a garden, blossomed through seasons that showcased tender memories as they erupted across Ashcombe, where Clara and Edmund had cultivated an oasis of emotional sustenance. Their love tempered the uncertainties of life, each challenge sculpted into a source of strength, fueling the courage to embrace opportunities in nurturing relationships. As stories grew vibrant, Clara found joy in hosting gatherings celebrating connections crossing generations, parenthood, nurturing zest amongst children alongside compassion. Each child's laugh mingled with echoing hopes, spurred on by the continuous affection shared through families gathered in concert. Within Ashcombe's halls, they fostered a garden where dreams grew side by side with love, and as every blossom returned, every heartbeat resonated, it became clear how collectively weaving these threads nourished the future. Echoing laughter, manifested through friendships tightened into a delicate embrace, discovering the beauty of serenity beneath the vast expanse of dawn. Their love encapsulated beauty flowed ceaselessly across lives they nurtured. The tapestry of time transitioned along the colorful borders of Ashcombe. The gentle breeze carried stories forth, unfurling like petals under the sun. Clara and Edmund witnessed the metamorphosis, families inextricably woven through shared stories. Resounding conversations blossomed from the tender echoes that remained inviolable. As Clara led her children across the threshold of Ashcombe, she reveled in unveiling their unwavering support to envelop their futures filled with understanding. New friendships spread across horizons, painting vibrant futures, each voice resonating love's ceaseless melodies, infused in every encounter. Together they engaged in festivals where laughter, love, and light gleamed, with souls entwined through joyous expression, marking the passage where barriers faded amidst kinship's glow. The horizon stretched endlessly, a canvas not marked by duty's confines, revealing the beauty of life colored with compassion, inviting all to partake in the mural of existence dared to dream without constraint, futures unfolding before them. As dawn illuminated Ashcombe's horizon, Clara and Edmund flourished, forward-thinking spirits committed to nurturing the essence of love unconfined by the past. Clara often welcomed discussions, inviting guest speakers exploring authentic relationships, instilling the power to embrace their journeys toward authentic transformation through vulnerability. Conversations became safe havens bursting forth with joy, igniting curious hearts while liberating isolated voices. Their ethos intertwined profoundly, revealing strong commitments built upon shared stories that transcended every generation, creating spaces where love blossomed vibrantly beneath the skillful hands of community members willing to evolve together. Ashcombe beamed with potential, each soul dusted with the energy of togetherness, vibrant remembrances sizzling through bodies interspersed with dreams sparking beyond constraints welcomed. This narrative represented life in practice glowing brightly, illuminating paths meant to be walked together, a reminder for all that through love, authentic transformation awaited. As the sun kissed the sprawling beauty of Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund forged ahead, their hearts entwined, sewn amidst the fabric of lives converging, committed firmly to curating a shared vision that extended beyond themselves. Their love became the catalyst empowering others to embrace their dreams, grow within the expansive community created within Ashcombe's embrace. Heartfelt conversations punctuated every gathering, weaving ambitions into expressions of vulnerability, allowing others to step forth boldly. Clara watched with care and pride as new friendships blossomed like wildflowers under the warm embrace of acceptance, cementing connections across ancestral lines. Each heart nurtured collectively resonated alongside echoes of love, the legacy marking continued commitment to vulnerability while celebrating authentic desires and aspirations. With every turn of the seasons, They cherished their garden's vibrancy, an infinite embrace of love emanating from their roots, guiding generations onward unforgotten, intertwining lives standing resolute against silos, encouraging all to create connections intended. In every soul that ventured across Ashcombe's sinuous paths, Clara and Edmund felt the innate love radiating within, reminding them of their mission, a boundless journey stretching far into the transformative potential of existence. Each moment unfolded into victories celebrated beneath the canopy, where joyous expressions freed the voices, long thought muted, and champions of compassion wholeheartedly embraced every layer of life, their hearts filled with hope, hearkening back to the vows shared amid struggles, now adorned with jeweled journeys that echoed through existence, those defining moments furnished with clarity, counterbalancing the imperfections of history. Blooming forth in compassion, Clara and Edmund celebrated their lives, where every embrace evoked feelings of love that lingering comforted souls, joyous interventions fostering understanding that nourished history while pushing forth fierce commitment. The garden they'd adorned remained eternal, forever reshaping its identity across generations, underpinning futures alongside morality, twinkling in serrated paths, traversed through bonds, remained unbroken. As their legacy deepened beyond Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund contributed to narratives illustrating the potency of love, loyalty, and resilience, reminding others of life's fragile beauty encapsulated within every truth laid bare. They believed understanding breathed new life, anchored by people worthy of embracing who they genuinely are, through truth shared amidst intimacy. The spirit embedded in their hearts became a guiding star penetrating darkness, illuminating paths toward unity where once existed misunderstandings. Those who traversed by the estate long held the lessons nourished within, embracing the richness of connections embedded upon the plains of humanity, each cherished tale echoing anew. Clara and Edmund witnessed how lives intertwined across varying backgrounds, creating a kaleidoscope of identities flourishing, the many threads celebrated avidly, ensuring they cradled the narratives previously untold, the essence of love too heavy to be replaced, each climb blooming insight and intimacy, weaving brighter futures worth remembering. As the light of the setting sun cast golden hues upon Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund cherished the fruits of love's labor, the garden they nurtured forever blooming within and beyond. The robust tapestry intermingled emotions, filled with memories now echoed hearts united by unwavering bonds, the freedom born from vulnerability hinting at the depth of love realized. Gatherings flourished as families engaged in symphonic discussions laden with laughter, while children bloomed amid understanding's harvest, a sanctuary built among stories shared, awakening dreams through resilience. Within Clara's voice lay shades of warmth. She invited those around her to embrace their colors worthwhile, sharing life's splendor without reservations. As time flitted by, she and Edmund marveled at their journey, and the others they encountered along the whimsical paths littered with dreams. Every heart embraced became a marker on the continuum of existence, a radiance of hope bridging each subsequent chapter, affirming that love serves both as anchor and guiding light through all adventures ahead. Eventually, seasons continued to shift across the tapestry of Ashcombe, a constant reminder of love's resplendence over time. Clara and Edmund remained steadfast in their pursuits, endlessly cultivating resilience and empathy amid their extended community. The conversations embarked upon, in the spirit of acceptance, solidified bonds, edging away shadows that had lurking and inviting dialogues, overflowing with compassion and understanding, marking repeatedly its imprint upon the hearts of those gathered expressly. They accompanied families outside the estate, sharing lessons on bridging divides, while recognizing the beauty of confronting fears amid love wrapped in curiosity. Echoes of laughter adorned evenings spent under stars, infusing their gatherings with fond sentiments that sparked new connections as friendships intertwined. Ultimately, Clara and Edmund understood through every weave shared. Love radiated forevermore, a lasting echo of hope interlaced with independence while uniting countless lives in its embrace, transcending time alongside their legacy, blossoming wherever hearts entwine. Years unraveling transformed the very fabric of existence beneath the arches of Ashcombe, a tapestry vibrantly alive, adjusting to mirror not only transient love, but enduring familial bonds entwined across generations. Clara and Edmund stood as beacons for others, their essence woven through the monument of love, gathered amongst biennial celebrations now gracing seasons anew. While families assembled amid the flora that surrounded the estate, Clara extolled stories layered in connection. The life lessons nurtured forged curiosity within a milieu of expectation. It prompted the next generations to dive deeply into their history, breathing relevance into every gathering, ripe with discovery, while underscoring the significance of acceptance. Their lessons honored evolved versions of individual narratives, assuring all journeys are worthy. This testament carved footmarks embedded beneath the soil, still articulating a lengthy path toward unity, echoed within structures encompassing emotional fortitude, willing to accept flaws embraced in every heart that sought love, a healing touch, and enduring acknowledgement. In the climax reached, Clara and Edmund understood love blooms where acceptance flourishes. They cherished the textures of all they struggled against, ultimately embracing what lies ahead. Emerging from the Garden of Ashcombe, they encountered communities far and wide, extending support across vast horizons wrinkled in need. Emboldened by courage, they established ties with hearts wanting to understand humanity's pulse, harmonizing challenges faced across differences. Their devotion to nurturing not only growth among the shared gardens, but also the rich nourishment that stemmed from heartfelt identities fed. Experiencing life under the sun could blend old traditions with courage born anew. Amidst all transmutations, they felt love thrive, a perpetual current running behind the shadows aiming forward, embodying the freedom warranted across the ensuing ages, woven by a tapestry sewn with understanding together, bridging life in retreat while endlessly reaching outward toward a future colored with bold strokes of purpose shared. As Clara and Edmund danced forward into life's revelations, understanding the values harvested over years of commitment invigorated their aspirations toward a universal perspective, striving to promote love amidst every heart shared. Their journey illustrated unity, led not only their love but encouraged others to pursue unafraid connections, binding themselves through authenticity rather than obligation. Each friendship forged through laughter rippled outward, nurturing a complex network interwoven with collective understanding. Clara embodied courage as her spirit shined brightly, a guiding light beckoning souls yearning for affirmation to embrace deeper emotional experiences. Gatherings became vibrant celebrations of love intertwined, a small patchwork of hearts pulsating beneath an expansive blossom of acceptance, nurturing every voice lost within the tide of lived experiences. They realized their lives sparked an endless quest for unity. With every heart reaching outward, they reflected love's true nature, a profound journey steeped in connection, transcending barriers and ultimately offering a gentle reminder that genuine love flourishes through shared promise, empowering all to embrace their stories as vehicle for transformation. Eventually, Clara and Edmund gripped hands as they strolled alongside Ashcombe's enchanted path, reflective gazes cast around them, their hearts anchored in the vibrant tableau of shared experiences. Each step anchored deeper, alongside trails once devoid of connection. They observed how friendships blossomed through their persistent efforts, communities intertwined across bonds woven from their lived truths, illuminated. Those gathered wove narratives through laughter and tears. Every moment became a stitch, knitted into love's colorful fabric. Their legacy echoed onward, whispering vivid truths, still urging all to explore their depth and ascend to bright horizons together. Clara's voice rang clear, proclaiming that love had no confines. It reached, it embraced, it evolved eternally, a perpetual motion transcending time and illuminating every shadow. A chorus of harmonious connection rang forth from the garden, refracted through the society, threaded amid vibrant hearts, flourishing amid the ever-nurturing landscape of love. They stepped forward, ever hopeful and intertwined. In the dawn of a new era, Clara and Edmund felt the embrace of countless futures shimmer before them. With roots firmly planted among blossoming flowers, they channeled their collective energies toward affording others the opportunity to share in this vibrant abundance, cultivating love wherever they journeyed. Ashcombe remained a haven blooming bright with potential and a pristine sanctuary where realms coalesced, boundaries dissolved under the weight of connection, nurturing every heart drawn through its threshold. Together they stood united in offering the tapestry, crafted from shared experiences anew, welcoming voices that sought empowerment. Clara saw hope flourish, not only through her bloodline, but across individuals permeating spaces long shrouded in silence, compassion accompanied by curiosity, blooming forth deeper understanding. They dedicated newfound energies toward nurturing permanence embedded within communal lives, embracing every intricate aspect of evolving love in the broader global conversations, revitalizing stories told anew, beseeching every soul toward a tomorrow painted electric with possibility. As they welcomed generations into Ashcombe, Clara and Edmund witnessed their legacy materialize in forms transcending their original intentions. Their hearts intertwined in rhythms of nurturing love transformed the estate into a community cornerstone. Every friend welcomed forged connections beyond mere association. Empowered by Clara's daring spirit, evenings erupted into vibrant storytelling sessions, embracing the collective consciousness illuminating their presence. Eyes glinting in recognition began to spark a revolution born within the whispers of authenticity. Transformative conversations became the bedrock of society, encouraging the things unuttered for so long to pour forth, revealing the boundless tapestry of humanity resplendently woven into stories, lives no longer caged by stigma. Clara and Edmund nurtured the realization they were only catalysts, releasing ripples carrying forth messages deeply connected to triumph, waves carrying forth the legacy surging into uncharted territories, the love embedded within their being, offering artistic expression, resilience, and meaning, treasuring roots that fostered bright new beginnings. And as seasons shifted onward, reminding them of life's fluid nature, Clara and Edmund understood that for love to thrive, nurturing and intentionality must accompany every spoken and unspoken promise. They learned that while time shapes all and ardor might yield vulnerabilities, love's essence ultimately lies in the heart of its seekers and builders, worth cultivating amid the complexities they faced. Ashcombe became that garden, a bastion unleashing vivid paths leading outwards, anchoring emotions that unfurled during moments shared. Families embraced the unfolding narrative of love shared without condition, united under this shared roof, under the banner of love alone. Clara and Edmund saw that genuine affection would piece together the layers across the expanse. The seeds cultivated by perseverance unveiled tales, impacting lives evenly as radiant flowers reach for the sky, awaiting the day they bloom fully. Ultimately, as moments unraveled into stunning horizons bound together through shared connections, the heart of the matter rebounded with love. As the years continued to gracefully interweave Clara and Edmund's legacy into Ashcombe's rich history, their whispers, the essence of loving hard and nurturing authentically, echoed throughout the community, deeply rooted in life-shaping memories shared. They relished noting how the narratives created through hopes, dreams, and trials concentrated the teachings received among those who dared express themselves, nudging aspiring pere at each encounter while cultivating empathy enveloped with reverence. Ashcombe's embrace extended outward, immersing itself in a delicate equilibrium as generations honored the essence of every journey, an ode symbolizing an unrestrained bond steeped in feeling. Shared afternoons under the blooming boughs accompanied a renewed sense of culture, transcending beyond whispers, shaping legacies yet unimagined, offered forth blooming into vast imaginative potential waiting still to be realized, enabling every heart tangled amid sacred commitments exuded through love's warm embrace. At last, Clara and Edmund reveled in understanding their story, one interwoven through the hearts of those who ventured beneath Ashcombe's canopy, musked beneath life's wonderful scents. Each heartbeat had a tale born from a longing shared. Each gathering became ceremonial, celebrations transcending long-held constraints and embracing past struggles. The camaraderie forged amongst friends nurtured life back into times long past, while every moment together reflected their bond, resonating right into the future. They understood their presence demanded transformation. Love was indeed a vessel cupping every heart along the journey, an invitation for every soul willing to flourish, reminding them connection and kindness would soar. As Clara and Edmund meandered along familiar trails, laughter and warmth washed over them, significant echoes piecing paths immortalized among lives once disparate, now flourishing together, inviting the beauty born from love shared, illuminating hearts intertwined not merely through vows, but through understanding walking hand in hand toward futures still unfolding. Upon dusk's gentle descent, Clara and Edmund upheld the wisdom cultivated beneath life's canopy. The stars twinkled above Ashcombe, shining over each generation born of love, a radiant legacy resting within their call to thrive through compassion. They learned that true joy surfaced through every moment embraced, forged not merely through promise but intention. Every maiden from Clara's line felt reflected in tales hurriedly written within Ashcombe, flourishing amidst laughter, resilience, and gentle silence, changed by love, cultivating consistently, nudging hearts toward star-dusted paths. As the light wove ethereal memories amidst sweet fragrances, carried through the gentle air, they maintained their collective dream, inviting generations of brave souls who carried forth their narrative steeped in vulnerability, inspiring reflections soaring as stars speckled the heavens, a universal reminder that love knows no bounds, resuscitating every weary spirit, reaching ever towards future possibilities, yet undreamed. As the blossom petals filled the air, Clara and Edmund found comfort in love's embrace, forging connections that persisted beyond the borders of influence. Each season illustrated the delicate interplay of beauty and resilience, while they ventured through life surrounded by gardens blooming with laughter and joy, and none shunned the teachings bubbling forth. The congregation held their stories, each exchange marking a reaffirmation of the allure present even across time, whispered truths melting boundaries they once perceived. They gathered beneath the canopy, transforming every life gathered into another woven ember of their legacy, each sustaining bond stitched into the hearts addressing generations waiting to unfold tales, alive in every corner of community captured moment by moment. Ashcombe remained anchored in tradition, now revitalized, bearing the spirit of friendships forged through vulnerability and interdependence. It served as a powerful reminder. Love embraces all tales, the bidirectional heart crafting lovingly met across branches tenderly extending outwards, reviving hearts among the blossoms deemed everlasting. Upon reflecting above the horizon beyond, Clara and Edmund acknowledged the grand tapestry forged within the arcs of Ashcombe, bound together over epochs nurtured through love's heart. Their journey, a narrative graced by genuine efforts shared while inviting all to partake, reminded them of the importance of community weaving life-threaded stories, illuminating every shadowed corner by simply living them fully. They celebrated family gatherings beneath twinkling stars with laughter threading, an unfolding narrative minute by minute, each cherished embrace, an atom imbibed with significance carved within the heart's deepest recess. Love blossomed continuously between their souls, evolving into something new and bright, never dimming, forever flourishing. Through its course, they recognized the trials had birthed clarity, enabling connection woven gently throughout life, testament to the power of vulnerability. Their dreams completed the journey, an enduring reminder that love perseveres through every heartbeat, reminding all that it shall forever prevail. The narrative ends here. Thank you for following Clara and Edmund's heartfelt journey of love and resilience.